Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1595. I'm your host, Arwin. And before we start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That'll be much appreciated, and yeah, I can really use it, guys. It's been quite a while, so please support your local Arwin. That would be great. Right, so yeah, the weather today is rainy. It's fully clouded, bit of wind, but it's mostly just kind of raining all the time. Not the most appealing of weathers. Right. It's Tuesday, the 9th of May 2023. Hello, Richard G. First in chat. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hello, Terra 306. Right. So yeah, I feel a little uneasy this morning, but doing okay. But yeah, the whole Prism Break, yeah, Taryn, yeah, that's the Prism Break is referring to. I think we were talking about that at the last part of the show. I already gave it a title yesterday, so that's why it never came to it. I just moved it to today. But it's about the different types of sunlight that arrive north and south during summer and winter. So they arrive from the alleged same light source. And that's a real mystery. And the claim or the excuse that ballers tend to make then is that it's just the same sunlight, except it's going through the atmosphere like a prism, and that's why different types of light arrive. But it doesn't make any sense though, technically, because you can't have like the same light go through a prism and then yield other levels like that. Like the prism is not going to amplify a certain type, right? So yeah, but that's what that name is, or that's why that's in the title. Hope that explains it. Thought the internet was gonna break down for a second there. Right, so yeah, you guys must have noticed Flatsoid's show yesterday. And it was a mess. I mean, I don't know who the hell that guy was he got on, but I mean, he basically just defaulted on the whole thing in the worst imaginable way. And like, you didn't watch? Well, good on you. I didn't watch the whole thing either. I watched it for a little bit, put down some of the arguments that I discussed with Adam Meakin, and well, the guy that was supposedly debating on the Islam side, he didn't even care at all. So I don't know where the hell he got that guy from, but that was just ridiculous. And very gross. Like, really fucking gross. Hey, Zane Solo. Didn't he feel the need to watch it? Yeah. Well, I didn't feel the need either. I just thought that I could contribute. And I was kind of curious as to the position of this guy. He wasn't a Muslim. What? Serious? Oh, I wasn't there at that part. Okay. Well, in that case, that makes more sense then. That actually makes me feel a little better, because if that guy would have been, that would have been fucking insane. Huh. Almost, yeah, thank you. Thank you for informing me about that. I didn't like watch from the beginning, or I just came in at some point and heard some stuff, and so set up an attempt at illegal defense. Crazy. Absolutely insane. And wrong. Again, very, very wrong. But I mean, if he isn't a Muslim, then that makes more sense why he would be so incredibly wrong. Right. Anyway, I don't really want to get into it too much, because it literally makes me physically ill. But, yeah. I wish Adam Meakin would show up. I mean, he seems to be much more at ease with the whole situation than I am. Which I'm very lucky for him. He's been very consoling towards me, which I'm very thankful for, because this whole thing is really making me extremely uneasy and sick. Literally. I wasn't. Yeah, what's the point? Well, I didn't even realize that, Zane. So, yeah. I mean, if I had known that just the moment that I was watching it, I would have, like, I wouldn't even have tried. I just assumed, kind of like, yeah, of course. And it was kind of sad that he was gonna have a Muslim on, but apparently he wasn't, so... Oh, it isn't about that. It's only about Muhammad. Yeah. Well, that doesn't work that way. Yeah. You can't separate that. It doesn't work. I mean, you can do that in your head, but yeah, Islam does not. As far as I know. I don't know. Zane Solo, you have any input on that? Alright, all your pays are belong to us. That's fine. Hey, Dr. Utger. Mess and clickbait, yeah. It's, to me, it's the whole thing is just poisoning the well. I mean, it really is. It's bad. And I mean, I'm just gonna take Adam Meakin's advice and refer to a quote from Jesus. Let me find it. Where the hell is it? Where is it? Where did he leave it? Right. It's... I'm making a mess of it. I'm such a terrible Bible scholar, but... You know them by their fruits, basically. It was the reference. So just look at what's happening and see what the fruits are going to be of that. Is that any good? Is it any good what Flatzoid's doing right now? Like, does he even care? Like, what's his objective here? What is he sowing? Does he even care? Only cares about viewers. Well, you'd almost think that. Okay. Ten Solo. It all makes it more complicated. It's just, I'm not really ready to argue this. Right. But what the most notable piece of information that, thanks to Adam's research, I came across, at least, that basically refutes the situation is that consummation of marriage in Islam doesn't just mean sex. It doesn't mean that. It's like you can literally look it up and all that, or at least Adam can. I don't know. I don't even know what source he used for that, but that seemed like a really big official source. But I mean, even just the way I noticed, the way that like Flatsoid would have like quotes and all that, and the way he would read it, he just assumed that the meaning, right? It's like constant inference. And I'm not gonna like repeat that because it makes me sick. Because of the intention, it makes me sick. But he would continually just insinuate sex with every part, even though the word sex or intercourse in the English translation was present exactly 0 times in the whole thing, in every quote he gave. Yeah? That kind of stands out to me. Yeah, when it's mentioned 0 times, yet continually insinuated at every corner. Yes, Saint Solo. I know. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get. Well, we're in it already, but I don't want to expound on this. I mean, I'm already getting kind of nauseated right now. I'm just trying to get away from this as quick as possible. I mean, please, for the love of God, have Zeb Tepi endlessly whining about gas having mass again. I'd prefer that over this. I beg of you. Like, yes, Dr. Utker, exactly. I mean, it all feels so freaking toxic, right? It feels so toxic. And I don't want that poison in my ground, yeah? I'm metaphorically building an orchard here, and it might have just one tree. And yeah, my neighbor orchard keeper is just like subtly spraying out all this disgusting pesticide shit over his tree because he's fearing some bug. And I'm like, what the fuck? Keep that shit away from me. You're poisoning the ground, you bastard. Right? Is what it feels like. Like, what the fuck is he doing? What's the fruit of this? It's poison. It's like, whether it's even true what you're thinking is almost secondary to just the acute, toxic influence of this. Right, but I'm glad you guys agree with me with this. It's not just me, right? It's not just like, oh, Arwen's just having this random feeling again. No, this is not just me. I'm glad. But I do feel like a canary in a coal mine that's just about to drop over. Hey, LSG, good to see you, by the way. What are you talking about, by the way, Terry? What title? About the Prism Break? I just explained that. It was a reference to what we were talking about at the last part of my show yesterday. It's basically a new thing that I remembered when first glancing through all this. And that is like information, or rather, yeah, just modeling consistencies because of real world situations. And like, I like to think about things that nobody really picks up on, like things that are routed in physicality assumption bias. What? What the fuck are you talking about, JTF? Polio caused by DDT and yeah, well, Richard G, I mean, you're not the first one to hear about that, and there is good leads, and in general, right, a lot of bizarre diseases have actually started popping up during industrial era because of different poison. So I wouldn't be surprised if what you said there in chat is correct. It's not, I've heard that before. Why does LSG keep calling you sir? I don't know, because he's polite by nature. Oh no. I mean, people used to say sir in abundance. Even in the 20th century, that was quite normal to address somebody like that. It's like you wouldn't address somebody like that if they're like a kid or something. Unless you wanted to be strict with them or something, right? Everybody called each other sir. Well, maybe not everybody. It all depends, I guess. I don't know. Uh-oh, Tarot's getting stuck in his golf again. I remember that from last year. Ah. Spraying the trees here last night. Okay, Dr. Utker. Wait, is that because I was talking about that metaphorically? Are you saying, oh, Dr. Utker, they were literally doing that? Scrolling back a bit to 7 minutes ago. You guys are very chatty today. I'm kind of happy about that, but it's like I'm not. I have to scroll back to read everything. Caterpillars. Right. Well, if it's one of those really messed up toxic caterpillars, like the spiky ones, yeah, there's very little other things you can do. So I've heard. I mean, those things are really freaking dangerous. If it's one of those types of caterpillars, then I understand. Otherwise, I don't know. Zane. Well, Zane Solo, that's not entirely true. I mean, yeah, people in the past also died of heart attacks, but it was usually due to, well, unhealthy or excessive eating, right? But I mean, even in medieval times, there were there were a couple of nobility that would like really just fatten up, and they'd get things like gout and eventually like die of a heart attack and shit. I mean, it did happen. But I mean, the common folk or the peasants, they did not die of a heart attack. They would be more usually like die of pneumonia and that's that kind of thing. Or of like gangrene because they got an infection and didn't treat it in time, that sort of thing. The heart attacks was probably more for the nobility. Be nice to be. Yeah, I agree with that, Doctor. Yeah, that is. They should, like, before they do that, have somebody go around and basically give a bit of a warning. I agree. Oh my god, dare it again. It's like, what is that? Oh, golf. All right. Of course. Weird Indians and your golf. You're just like Dutch people and their soccer, and Americans and their American football. um Hey, Slow-Mo Moonbuggy, good to see you. Right, so guys, yeah, I don't want to whine, but I really need support. I mean, I've been asking for a while now, and it's been over a week. I'm gonna get into trouble, like, before the weekend, if I don't get some kind of support. By the way, oh, yeah, beside that, I have actually ordered some pots for potting plants, and I already had this big bag of dirt, so I'm gonna be like doing some plant stuff. I don't even know where to leave them, but I just for the therapeutical influence, I need to do that. And it is the time. I mean, everything's like growing like ape shit. Well, like as if it. I don't know. Is ape shit very fertile? I don't know. It's a weird comparison, but everything's growing really hard, and I'm like gonna replant some stuff. I got a little rosemary bush, like a very tiny one. I'm gonna see if how big I can get it. And gonna try to get my hands on some parsley. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go do that. I got the dirt, I will be having the pots, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been having like crazy little fantasies, like what if I just turn my entire room in just a greenery or something? Just imagining having little planks everywhere with like potted plants on them. Herb plants like everywhere. I mean, the whole room would just like smell like a garden. That might be kind of nice. Until something falls over and then it becomes a giant mess. Anyway. Oh, cricket. Golf, cricket. Yeah. Psh, okay. Sorry. I don't really see much of a difference. You're hitting a little ball with a stick. One smell grow tent? No. No, but that's not really gonna fit. It's just gonna be set up on planks. And it's gonna have to do just with the light that comes from the window and all that, so... Cricket came for that is fair enough. I mean, I know cricket is a pretty old sport. I just forgot it, just mixing it up with golf. The 10th man was like on a golf tournament recently, but he like sprained his back. So he missed most of it. I think, if I remember correctly. What? Okay, Dr. Utker, I appreciate that. I mean, do take care of the alimony, though. The tobacco, yeah, I'm still looking forward to that. But I'm talking in general. I mean, there are more listeners, right? Not just people that follow me in chat. But I mean, every time something like this happens, is what Flatzoid is doing. There's always like a rift, right? That shit creates rifts between people. It's so polarizing. It's bad fruit. And so every time I get worried, like, okay, who's gonna turn against me this time? Like, which supporter is suddenly gonna say, yeah, screw that, he's a this and that, right? Like, for example, LVA Paul seems to have just completely turned away. I thought he was my friend. I haven't heard from him since. It's a real fucking bummer, dude. So, can't say that the last week has been a great week in that sense. On top of my emotional instabilities that were not exactly helped by that situation, right? I'm growing out of it slowly, but it's slowly. If the pattern of this continues consistently, I'd say by next week or maybe the week after, I'm going to be completely stabilized again. Thank God. Can't wait. Injured your thumb? Ouch. Yay, it's cricket talk! Cue the cricket sound. No, it's okay. I think I maybe played cricket like once or twice somewhere. But I overall like baseball more, or softball, like that. There's something really exhilarating and just about hitting a ball with a stick just full power like that. And I felt that I was decent at it. Not super good, but I was pretty decent at it. hand coordination and like being very quick reflexes, it really does help. But cricket, I just found cricket a bit weird. That's all. It's just like, yeah, it's fine. I don't have anything against. It's just a bit weird to me. I don't know. But maybe if you had like a whole dedicated cricket enthusiast crew and you could play it regularly, that's probably really great. Why do they have tea in this cricket? Tradition, Zane Solo. Tradition. There was a day off during a match? Really? Just in the middle of a match, they would just have a day-long break. What the fuck? That's a pretty damn long break. Doesn't that then like get people out of it? I mean, you're not gonna just pick it up as like exactly like you left it then. If you're gonna have a break that long. Oh, test match. Oh, okay. Right. Anyhow, even though I enjoy your enthusiasm in this, Tarot, and it's kind of a nice distraction, it's not really a subject I can really talk about. So I don't want to spend the next 15 minutes just staring at you talking about cricket in the chat. It would be great to have a subject that I could also maybe talk about, right? Maybe something flat Earth related, realm observations. Want to go into the non-local hologram of the Celestials? Or more density mechanics? I am up for that. Yeah. No, that's okay, Terry. The rectangular Earth theory. Okay. Right. So, for starters, the rectangular looping Earth, the rectangle part is basically It's more of the orientation of it, right? What is the main focus? It's the orientation of the equator line, virtual equator line. What is it really? What is it in Euclidean space? Right? It's always the same story when I bring it up from scratch. So it's like, what is the equator? Is it a circle? Is it literally that, right? Or is the map projection just displaying it like that? Yeah? Or is it a straight line? Or is it, even more confusing, somewhere in between a straight line and a circle, like an incomplete circle? Well, if that would be the case, then in that sense, the realm would not be exactly rectangular. It would probably be more in the direction of like a triangle then. But looping. The looping aspect is basically the realization that the realm is, well, not entirely contained within the Euclidean space perfectly, like that there is a connection from one side to the other that cannot be explained other than by a loop, right? The equator is a straight line. You walk it, and you walk it dead straight forward all the time. It's like perfectly straight. You're walking perfectly straight forward, and guess what? You're going to end up where you started originally, if you make it, right? Or like with a jet. You have a jet, plenty of fuel, you speed really fast, and you do it parallel to the equator. Well, first off, are you going to be turning, or is it actually going to be a straight line, right? And then if it's a straight line, well, guess what? You're going to end up at the same spot you started, even though you've been dead straight. Well, there's only one way to even attempt to explain that would make sense spatially, and that is that there is a looping realm, which science fiction enthusiasts and astrophysics would probably call like, oh, we're actually stuck in a wormhole. And the funny thing was, like, even in the 90s, I've heard that idea. I just didn't really get it. Made me think of Star Trek science fiction too much. But, yeah. The point is that the looping conception of the realm basically negates, like, permanently the notion that there is infinite amount of volume available that might be barriered off, right? It's like the dome is, oh, if only the dome wasn't there, then there's always more room, right? Well, guess what? If there's a loop from one space to the other that's continual, then there is no space beyond that. You gotta realize that. If it loops in on itself, then you can no longer assume, well, that means that on the other side, what, on the other side of the loop? There is no other side of the loop. It's a loop. So where does the sun go? Well, the sun is a non-local hologram. It isn't anywhere. It just shows in the cyclical pattern that it shows itself as, right? So only if you're going to reify the sun into an object with a Euclidean position are things going to get a little weird. Well, if you start assuming that, which is unnecessary, but you could do that, then you can, there's even like full-blown animations of this, right? Square Cosmology channel, formerly known as Free Energy, has elaborate animations about it, and well, it's very simple. The sun just passes through the loop then. Just goes through the loop. That's it. turns corners? No, but there is no turning of corners. That's a weird assumption to make, Seeking Starwater. The torus, well, I don't even know really what that means. What the fuck's that even mean? That sounds like freaking ether horse shit. Sorry for saying it, Seeking Starwater, but none of that makes any logical sense about anything. Plane of inertia. What the fuck is that all supposed to mean? I'm talking about actual volumetric layout of the realm. And how it connects, right? And I'm not sure that if the realm is looping, how it loops. Magnetics. Okay, well, yeah, well, that has nothing to do with anything. Magnetics don't force some shape. It doesn't. Yeah, the terrestrial magnetism, we don't fully understand the nature of that. It's not like regular magnetics like that. We don't even know how it's there. Yeah, how that magnetic field is there. Yeah, do you understand that? That the magnetic field of the Earth defies regular magnetism. Yeah? Magnetism doesn't have that kind of reach. Normally. It's only terrestrial magnetism, so we don't know what it is. We don't know what that magnetism actually is. Yeah, it's another mindfuck. It's kind of like, yeah, the celestial lights are the only non-local holograms, and we can make them. Yeah, it's another one of those. Yeah, magnetism, terrestrial magnetism. You're assuming it just works like a magnet that we make and shit. Well, you have no evidence of that. There's no magnetic field that can reach that far. Like that, in that sense. Like, we don't create that. Yeah, you can't create a subtle magnetic field that has like infinite reach. If you have infinite reach, it's because it's infinitely strong, which it isn't, yeah? So you don't even know what the frickin' Earth magnetic field is. Nobody does. We don't know. We've just been suckered into another physicality assumption bias approach, like with everything else. I don't know what the terrestrial magnetic field is, but it's certainly not like a regular magnet. And to assume a shape, a torus or whatever, I mean, it's all just jumping the gun, going physicality assumption bias, and then insisting. Because you can't imagine it any other way. Well, I can. So yeah, thanks for absolutely confirming what I just said, Seeking Starwater. Exactly. You're just assuming it. Magnetics are the only shit, yeah. If you assume they are, right? Just as if you assume that the celestials are in that specific location because the angles line up, yeah, then you can assume that they are in that specific location. Yeah, I know. You can do the same thing with the magnetics of the realm. And you do, apparently. As do many other flat earthers that go into that riddle chamber. Yeah, so don't straw man me again like that, Seeking Starwater. In the looping system, nothing turns corners. It's not how it works. Right? And when I said triangle, it's not literally a perfect triangle. It's more like a reference of the layout. It would be an incomplete circle. That's what I mean. Incomplete circle. It's like there's never going to be a perfect straight line in any way unless it is perfectly rectangular. I don't know if it is. I don't even know the orientation of the equator in general. All we ever get to see is the map projection, and that's a fact. Okay? So I don't know. I just know that how do we interpret when the actual measuring data is collected? That's what I've been concerning myself with in describing all that, the potential things that could turn out to be, and how do we understand it? That's what a lot of my shows have been about, concerning the rectangular looping model and the other potential shapes of the realm, the looping realm. Right? And even more complex situations. Like space could be not entirely linear even if the equator was a frickin' Euclidean circle. Yeah? Because just look at the disk map projection. It doesn't fit. Yeah? It literally doesn't fit. So if it literally doesn't fit, then why would you literally assume that it's this magnetic torus thing? Literally. When you're going to base that off, well, what I can assume to be a map projection that is literally not at a consistent scale. Then why would you assume that? Because it has to? Because you are assuming that terrestrial magnetic field is exactly like a magnet that we can create? The sun goes far away. No, the sun doesn't have any distance. It's a hologram. It only has angular apparent positions, non-actual angular apparent positions. That's what the sun has. The sun doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't have an actual position. It's a hologram. Hmm? But I thank you for the statements, though. I mean, it's fine if you want to say that. I don't object. But I will give you the input about what I see incorrect about it. So, any more questions, more details you want me to get into? Anything? Guys? Gals? What? You're gonna... Seriously, Moxie? So, yeah, you can call that a word salad all of a sudden. But I've been explaining that for years now. Years, Moxie. It's not word salad. Every word has been accounted for. I can literally take every single word in that statement and then explain extensively why that word is part of it. It's not word salad. It's very carefully picked words. Now you make me miss my salad bowl, because I have to get new ones at the grocery store through this shitty weather. So that's it? You're just gonna leave it all there? 2 minutes of silence? Okay, fine. Let's dig around. Russia is now denying that America, is basically revealing that they don't think that America actually went to the moon. Interstellar coming to life. That's happening. And it's getting around and it's kind of funny. So that's happening. In the meantime, Europe is like the European government, which is always kind of shitty, is literally turning into a monster. Like they are basically making a direct bid for feudalism at this point. Apocalypse? It's apocalypse, but yes, George Sanford. More videos of NASA's hoax seem to pop up online. Yeah, of course. So, Zane Solo, I mean, this means that in the future there will be, American moon landing, totally fake, totally fake. Not that the Earth is flat, of course. I mean, they're not going to get that involved. They're just going to be like, oh, see, it was all fake, and so that all the reviews from flat earthers of NASA is pointless now. Like, oh, see? It's not because the Earth is flat, of course. Right? It was just faked. Oh, it was all faked, but it's not flat. No, really. This could get kind of weird too. I mean, this could literally turn into like NASA being officially accused of trolling the public with flat Earth. Like, they could be blamed for flat Earth. Really. That they're like doing weird mess ups visually just to entice flat earthers. Like, they're trolling everybody, trying to make them believe flat earth. It could go that direction. You guys do realize that, right? That is where it could go. Because wherever the narrative's going to go, it's never going to be, hey, maybe the flat earthers were right about something. Right? That's not gonna be the narrative. So they'll just keep using us as some kind of like, what do you call that? A placeholder, a straw man figure. Surprise, surprise. We've had, the public has had a lot of practice out there. To just like, oh yeah, they're just being played with by NASA and those videos, and because it is all real, but they're just not doing it, and they're just trying to derail the public's mind. I don't know, it could go in all kinds of weird directions. Depends on how far it will get. What are you talking about, Tara? 2 billion views. Tarot. Guys, are you all just going out and suddenly doing something else? Where's the chat flow? Where's it gone? Three messages in 10 minutes. This is not good. Oh, various vogons? Effie would be publicly disclosed. Yeah, of course it's gonna be under the guise of a king or something, right? Like that. They're never gonna just like give us credit. No. I don't worry. Like, they're never gonna give us credit. They'd rather just erase us from history entirely. Like, we've never existed. Than actually give us the credit. Unless people will, like, just force that credit. Like, unless like this control mechanism of the beast is really broken, but I can't imagine that really happening. Like that. Now, I think that the best we can ever expect is a lot of cranky people. If that happens, right? If FE becomes suddenly declassified officially and it's like over, the ball's over, then what will happen is like everybody will just be like, screw those flat earthers. They literally ruined the dream. I don't think people will be thankful at all. Tracking app. Yeah, but they're not gonna wipe them out like that. Besides, they don't really need a tracking app for that anyway. Right? You just check online activity. The globe lunacy might fade away. Maybe. It all depends, Derek. I mean, I don't see the overall lunacy really going away. Yeah? Look at other things out there besides the globe. The level of craziness isn't going down. I hope you notice that. I think that there is this might sound a bit crazy, but I think that there's a chance that at some point the satanic lunacy from all the different factions, all the different fields, at some point might get so bad that they will all unite just to kill the truth speakers in an event like that. But I mean, that would be like, it would be really bad insanity, and it would be like bloodshed and shit. It would already be chaos if that were to happen, right? But that's like an extreme situation. The zombie apocalypse, well, potentially. But now imagine zombies that are like specifically out to kill the living, not to feed, but to silence the living. More like that. Because any hint of reality will become too painful for them to bear and will send them into violent rage. I mean, we're already seeing that happening to a degree. You know that, right? people going into violent rage because a pronoun was wrong or something. Like complete fucking insanity, right? It's already happening in little bits. The more people distance themselves from reality through that nonsense, the worse that will get. Karens. Yeah, but Karens, yeah, some of them, I guess. I wouldn't just say all, because it's worse than just Karens. Karens are also just like attention desperate, frustrated people, in a way. But that's different from people that have like completely, like consciously broken with reality, right? That are just gonna say like, no, I don't believe there is only men and women, like that. And other types of examples like that. Right? That thing that the ballers really would like to classify flat earthers under as well. Because we are like that. We have broken with the reality, even though they can't even look at it. Right? And we're never gonna go ballistic over ballers. They are gonna go ballistic over us. They have. But they don't recognize that. They just project. Anyways, they're already very deeply in. You'll ever be proven wrong. Dude, you can't even tell anymore. You're saying that like you've never been proven wrong. You wouldn't even be able to see it when you were, Moxie. And that's the kind of a universal problem with a lot of ball enthusiasts. They can't see it anymore. They can only see that which in their minds proves the ball. That's the only thing you are left capable of seeing. You can't see the other information anymore because it violates the base condition for information to pass through your mind. Right, anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's turning out better than I thought it would. I was really uncomfortable starting up the show. Right, anyway, if you like this show, I really appreciate some support through the PayPal. I need it. It would be great. Including if you're like a watcher, you don't really typically interact with the chat. Now's the time. Now's the time to support your local Arwin. I really need it. Unless you don't care anymore. and you're content to just let it fizzle now all of a sudden after years of avoiding that. Because this is already stressful enough as it is, dealing with this situation, talking about a subject that I can't really talk about because it makes me ill, physically ill. And if everybody's just gonna like suddenly turn their backs or something, yeah, then it's over. And it's over. Then this channel is over. I Right. Anyhow, we still got 25 minutes left, but I could just round out the show, you know? I could just do that and maybe get some groceries before the FED starts. It's up to you. Lasers at stars are in sight. What are you talking about? What are you talking? That's not even a consistent sentence, George Sanford. What are you talking about? Lasering stars and they flicker back? Okay. What? That came out of nowhere. Might be just. I don't know. This is never heard of this, George Sand. What like? You just bring this up out of nowhere. Stars aren't too far. Well, they're not in any location. They're just angular. So I don't know. I've heard of pointing lasers at stars before. I've heard of it. I didn't really know what to make of it though. It's like, okay, weird. What are you talking about, Rufus and St. Hubbins? Are you mocking us? What the hell does it have to do with anything? FE proof. The FE proof is that you don't have any measured curvature and that it's a second law of thermodynamics violation to have outer space. Yeah? And that all measurements on Earth that have resulted in mapping of the stars, all of that have all been based off a flat plane. Yeah? Euclidean geometry itself is the proof of flat Earth, okay? Yeah, we don't need, oh, something weird happens when you point a laser at a star. That's not FE proof, okay? Smartass. Nathan banned you? He did? Oh, yeah. Well, you were getting, like, exceptionally retarded, Duperpoon, so I'm not surprised. You should be glad that I kept you in at the beginning, but you are turning out to be quite the fanatical retard, so I don't really care. People that are that mercilessly thick, yeah, I don't really care about them. It's your fucking problem. And get some therapy, dude. Sent you thermodynamics paper. Oh, if you did that, Moxie, I'll certainly reference it to the rest of the guys. But I probably already know it's gonna be a stupid fake ideal setup bullshit. Because I know that. Got the banned from Flats. Yeah, I don't care. If you're gonna be a bald tart like that in this chat, you're gonna get banned here too. Why do you need therapy? Because you're fucking delusional as shit. I'm not trying to gaslight you. You are fucking delusional, Duperpoons. Like, really badly. You forward pieces of information that are highly irrational. You draw conclusions that are just, there's no other way to describe it but delusional. To psychotic levels, even. You're more delusional than the average bald tart that we've come across, Duperpoons. And some people are just really sick of that. right? There's people having doubts that you're actually a real person, that you might be a bot algorithm just to mess with flat earthers, just to drive us up the wall. So, take a hint. Didn't say what. Dude, are you like 10 minutes behind on the stream or something? Or Rufus St. Hubbins? Duper Google Poons. Right, but I mean, just the problem is saying, so if you just Google things, that doesn't mean that you automatically understand it. And that seems to be a big problem for some people. Shut the fuck up, Moxie. Don't encourage his mental illness. You guys ever seen the sunset? No, nobody's ever seen the sunset. Have you ever seen a moonset, Duper? Huh? Or how about the moon during new moon? Ever. Under any circumstances. Have you seen that? Have you ever seen a moon setting? No, because it's dark. Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk with you anymore. You're a fucking retard, so shut the fuck up. I'm not here to do your ball-tard dance, yeah? If I wanted to do that, I'd befriend Sean Hawkins. I'm not befriending Sean Hawkins. And I'm not gonna befriend you when you're talking that stupid. If you're gonna regard that as a reply. It isn't. Right, I'm gonna round out the show. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. It'll be much appreciated and I can really use it. I mean, please support me, or I am going to discontinue the show eventually. Yeah, I'm going there again, because if it just stops the support, then I'm going to stop too. Just so you know. Right. Anyhow, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1596 on a Wednesday, and I'm going to join the Flat Earth debates over at Nathan Oakley 9080 channel, which should start up in about 10 minutes from now. Hope to see you there in the chat once it goes live, and until the next video, keep it flat.